Next up, we got Mclovin. Got what he deserved. Check it out. Let's check it out. I have no clue what he's been doing after Superbad. I think the only thing I remember him in was he was in Kick-Ass, right? No? Different person? Different kid? Same kid? I think it's the same kid. Let me know if I'm tweaking. I think that's the only thing I remember him from, though. Yeah, he was. Yeah, so that's the only thing I remember him from is Kick-Ass after Superbad.
In the beginning, he looks like another loser you'd see get stuffed into a locker. By the end, you realize he is one of the most complex heroes in cinematic history. Mclovin went against every stereotype that a lead male role is supposed to be. He wasn't handsome, he wasn't physically fit, he wasn't charming, he wasn't funny, he was a dork. But his unwavering confidence and borderline delusion forced you to see him as nothing short of incredible. Choosing your own nickname is already bold, but purposely picking Mclovin is so absurd, you have to respect it. Because of Christopher Mintz-Plaza's perfect execution of this role, Superbad became one of the best coming-of-age comedies of all time. Unfortunately, Mclovin was...
How many times... Bro, I've seen Superbad probably like 150 times. In my youth. In my teenage years. We'd put that shit on so long. Why are my captions in Spanish? I didn't even notice that. What the fuck?
So iconic that he would forever be known as this character he played at 18 years old, preventing his legacy from exceeding beyond the nerdy organ donor from Hawaii. Christopher Mintz-Plasse was an ordinary kid raised in the Los Angeles suburbs. Although he was often casted the role of the nerd, Chris says this didn't reflect his reality. I don't do it as much as I used to, but when I'm free and get the chance, I play basketball all the time. I know the movies I've been in make me look like a nerd, but I was never like that. It's common for Southern California teens to consider acting early on since they are right next to Hollywood. When he got to high school, Chris started attending acting and improv classes and even joined the improv comedy team. During his senior year, he caught wind of a movie audition.
You don't think he be hooping, cut? You don't think Mclovin got a good old 3? Whew. Mclovin could have been Curry if he went out here acting, bro.
His acting buddies were trying for and figured he'd casually send in some headshots from his 2006 camera phone. Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen thought Chris had the perfect nerdy look, so they invited him for an audition with the rest of the cast.
Hey man,
I forgot Seth Rogen was in that.
Come on, the chicks are digging it. You kill me? Are you kidding me, dude?
Fogo, under what circumstances would you ever show that thing to a chick?
Dude, she could totally ask to see my ID. I don't know, I can just show it to her.
Oh my god. I don't believe this. I can't. This says you're 25. Why don't you put 21 on your ID?
You're predictable, Seth. I knew you were gonna ask that. Listen, ass face. All right, every day hundreds of kids go into the liquor store with their fake IDs saying they're 21. Just how many 21-year-olds you think there are in this town? It's called strategy, okay?
This was Chris's very first movie audition, and he perfectly played the role of the overconfident high school loser. But immediately after Chris's audition, Jonah Hill was like, not that guy. Superbad was a film written by Seth Rogen and his childhood best friend, Evan Goldberg. The plot loosely resembles their real experiences as teenagers.
Could you imagine if Mclovin wasn't? Could you imagine if Mclovin wasn't Mclovin? If they had traded him out for some other motherfucker? Who else could they have casted? That's in like I can't think of anyone that would have played the role better. I can't think of a single person that would have played the role better.
Wrote it in high school.
Don't hear no shit.
So, I mean, something would happen to us Monday, we'd write it in on Tuesday. Our whole goal for writing it was to make a very realistic portrayal of our high school experience. So there's one part of the movie where Michael Cera is kind of explaining what he did the previous weekend, and then they're shotgunning beers, and then they're at one of their parents' parties, and they go to a strip club, and then Evan pukes all over Seth, and like that night literally happened.
Now, what unfolds in Superbad is definitely not realistic. However, the basic idea of the plot resembles an accurate look into the life of an American high schooler in the early 2000s. Seth and Evan are about to graduate and go to different colleges, and they want to make their last summer together memorable. Seth constructs a plan to buy alcohol for a party in order to impress girls they have crushes on. But they have an ulterior motive. They are trying to sleep with these girls so they can lose their virginities before college.
I didn't realize that before. That's illegal. The whole plot of this movie is illegal as fuck. They're just going to get liquor to get these girls drunk so that they can lose their virginity. Looking back, that's kind of crazy, dog.
Only problem is they are not old enough to buy alcohol. Luckily, their friend Fogel may have just saved the day as he acquired a fake ID to purchase the alcohol.
Never
I'm
thought
going to
about
the same
that.
place Mike Snyder
Never
went
thought
to
about
pick up
that
my
till
brand
right
new
now.
fake ID. Chica, yeah, fake ID, outside.
In the film, Seth and Fogel have some disdain for each other, which was also the case behind the scenes. But before we get into Chris and Jonah's real-life beef, have you ever Googled your name and seen yourself on one of those strange sites that has way too much information about you?
We can
I'd rather
watch
have
it.
that
We
stuff
can-
not
we-
available
we
to
can
just
watch it.
anyone who's looking for it. Data brokers are making tons of money selling your information to robocallers and spammers. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can find the data brokers that are sharing your information. These brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to. However, they make it very difficult to do so. That's where Aura comes in and submits opt-out requests for you. You can try Aura free for 2 weeks using my link, aura.com/privacy. Aura has many other features to protect you and your family from online threats you can't see. Instead of having multiple different apps to get things like antivirus, VPN, parental controls, password management,
and I
identity
get
theft, and more,
everything
Aura has it all
done
in
in
one
the
place.
amount
You
of
get everything
time
for
with
one
the
affordable
free
price.
trial,
I personally
though.
like how I can have all these features in one organized app. Let Aura protect your information and keep you safe online. You can let people continue to exploit you and profit off your private information, or you can go to aura.com/privacy to start your 2-week free trial. Link is in the description. Thanks, Aura. Seth Rogen remembers the animosity between the two. Jonah effing hated him, says Rogen. He was all over Jonah's lines, completely disrespectful of the process, probably due to a lack of experience. Then Jonah said, Chris just immediately shut me down. So combative. I was really annoyed because this guy wouldn't let me say anything.
He was irritated by him.
Huh.
I think he felt that Chris was like kind of getting the better of him comedically, stopping Jonah, like kind of like blocking Jonah's like funny jabs.
In a feat of writing genius, Rogen realized that Jonah and Chris butting heads made their dialogue so much funnier.
I don't like you at all.
It's okay, I don't like you.
Their constant bickering and insults perfectly represented a typical teenage boy's friendship. Rogen and Goldberg felt that there were no high school movies that were really capturing what teens were experiencing. No teenagers talking about drinking and getting laid, in the foulest terms possible. So we wrote one, basically. Superbad can be credited with popularizing raunchy terms into regular vernacular. It was the first movie to use the term finger fuck, which would go on to be used
Are they actually the first movie to say that?
in rap
That's
songs
crazy.
by Tyler the Creator, Lil Wayne, Logic, Migos, and countless others.
W?
DTF, or down to fuck, was a catchphrase that Jonah Hill randomly said while he was improvising that ended up becoming a popular slang term.
No shot. No shot. No way Jonah Hill made that. No, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe
It's
that.
at Seth. Mama's making a puby salad, and I need some Seth's own dressing. She's DTF. She's down to man. P and the G. She wants to
P and the V.
But easily the most iconic word, phrase, or name from the film is Mclovin. Seth and Evan said on Reddit that they came up with the name Mclovin in the original script that they wrote as 13-year-olds. In the film, the character's name is Fogel, which, as many of you know, is the geek that tries hard to be cool.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
But when purchasing his fake
Gangsters!
ID, he
What up,
can
Gavin?
choose any name he wants. So he decided to pick the most badass name he could think of.
It's flawless here, dude. Check it out. Look.
McLovin? Man, why does it say McLovin on it?
Well, they let you pick any name you want when you get down there.
Fogel's dead set on Mclovin being a great name. Combine that with his witty jabs at Seth, and he totally shifted the audience's feelings towards him.
I mean, it's up to you, Fogel. This guy's either gonna think, here's another kid with a fake ID, a 25-year-old Hawaiian organ donor. Okay, so what's it gonna be?
I am Mclovin.
Mclovin becomes an audience surrogate here. They relate to the feeling of being proud of an idea, but having someone like Seth constantly trying to bring them down. Mclovin can't even wear a vest without Seth attacking him. Despite the constant hate, Mclovin wants to be the boss, the hero, the man they can rely on to get the alcohol for the boys.
I just keep every time he flips past the picture from the movie, I just mentally replay the scene.
The girls. But that's not how Seth sees it. Seth treats him like the fall guy. If Mclovin gets caught with a fake ID, Seth and Evan won't get in trouble, and they can come up with another plan to win over the girls. I think this is a major reason why his character became so beloved. Despite being treated like crap, all of the stakes of this mission are riding on Mclovin. He is taking on multiple different archetypes that are quintessential to the progression of the plot. The cops then arrive at the liquor store, and he has to be caught, right? I mean, surely they don't think his real name is Mclovin and that this has got to be be a fake ID. But no, they think his name is actually cool. They don't view him as a nerd, but rather an interesting organ donor from Hawaii, which sets up the rest of the movie for Mclovin
I'll
to
set it
just
off after
be
this video,
unapologetically himself.
Hey, did she say we're gonna get to like shoot somebody or something?
Oh, God, I wish. Nah, it's probably just some lame house party. We'll drop you off after. Is that cool?
Yeah, man. Show these f***ers how we roll.
And despite him getting caught up with the cops, he still comes through with the alcohol, completing the original mission he set out to accomplish. Even Seth had to admit that Mclovin is the man for that.
We made it. We made it with the booze and everything. We made it.
Hold this. I can't believe you still have the liquor. It's awesome.
Yeah, man. I told you the idea would work. I fooled those cops. I'm
Protein.
McLovin. Woo! I am McLovin.
I'm glad I've never
As
had
if
to
the
go to a
story
drug
couldn't
tank.
get any better
I'm
for
glad.
Mclovin, he is the only one out of the three that
That's
ends
the
up
one thing
getting
that's
laid.
one of the
And
things
since
I'm
he
gonna
was
try to
17
avoid in
years old
life.
during the film, his mother had to be on set watching her son perform his first sex scene.
I got a boner.
Turn.
And why not just put the cherry on top? He gets dragged out of the party fighting the cops, which impressed all of his peers, then ends the movie guns blazing.
Break yourself, fool.
Why did they burn the car again? I gotta rewatch this movie.
With all the cards stacked against him, Mclovin saved the day, got the girl, and was a total
I don't
badass
remember the
while
end.
doing it. With a relatively small budget of $20 million, Superbad surpassed everyone's expectations.
This is why this level of movies is what they need to start making again. You don't need $500 million to make a movie, bro. No one cares. Unless you're making Endgame, you don't need $500,000. You don't need $500 million to make your movie. Unless you're making Endgame or a fucking Avengers movie, dog. 20 million. We need to go back to $20 million budget. No, it's small budget because he's comparing it to because budgets nowadays are ridiculous. That's why no one makes their money back on their movies because their budgets are way too high. The only thing that unless you're making an Avengers movie, you should not be dropping $500 million on the movie. No movies have made up their, no movies have made shit back. 20 million is like a relative amount to have to make a good movie. You need to make a Superbad level good movie, you need $20 million. Anyways, this whole era, 2007 2014, there was a bunch of movies for this about a budget, and they all made profit because they were good movies, and they just need a little bit of money.
Earning $33
Now it's
million
either,
on its opening
handheld
weekend and
video
eventually
or,
grossing
$500
$300
million.
million when including revenue from DVD sales. The day after the movie premiered, Christopher went from a nobody to a superstar.
Literally the next day after it came out, I went into the Habit, which is a burger joint down here in LA, and people screamed at me from across the hall, Mclovin, and chased me down, which was very alarming at age 18.
Yeah.
And very surreal and kind of cool. I probably felt like I was the Beatles or something back then.
He told People magazine, "It was very alarming for a 17-year-old person. I was trying to figure out who I was as a human being at the time, and then to have millions of people knowing you as Mclovin was very intense." Mintz Plaza's performance earned him a nomination at the MTV Movie Awards for Best Newcomer. Superbad was an instant classic, and Mclovin was a McIcon. The hip-hop community loved Mclovin. Wiz Khalifa could be credited with being the first rapper to name drop him in his 2007 track Be Easy, where he says, "Yeah, the young and Superbad, you can call me Mclovin." He was mentioned in quite possibly the biggest hip-hop collaboration of all time. In the 2009 track Forever, featuring Drake, Kanye West, Lil Wayne, and Eminem, Kanye says, "Superbad chicks giving me Mclovin." In Kid Cudi and Ye's collaboration Erase Me, they hired Chris to perform as the drummer in the music video. Ironically, rappers' images are the antithesis of Mclovin. They are typically seen as smooth-talking, womanizing, stylish, and all-around cool people. But as hip-hop grew into the most popular genre in the world, countless rappers glorifying Mclovin made him this larger-than-life figure. A quick search through Genius and you will find Mclovin being referenced in lyrics by just about every rapper you can think of. Chance the Rapper, Lil Pump, Tyga, Logic, 21 Savage, Megan Thee Stallion, Rich the Kid, Migos, the list goes on forever. In a 2009 interview with Jonah Hill, he told MTV that he and
Bro said, "Did you see the Drake videos? It's a whip." No, I didn't see this. You're like the second or third person to ask today. No, I did not see the Drake video, but I heard everybody talking about it. This nigga said it's a whip. That's crazy. That is crazy, dog. What?
And Eminem were friends. Eminem says his favorite movie is Superbad, ever, of all time. He said if there was an award for best movie ever, he thinks Superbad should win. He quotes all the scenes.
Alright, intermittent GLOWBERRY Prime taste test. First time trying it. First time ever trying it. Let's taste this. That tastes like fucking ass. That tastes like ass. It tastes like green apple and like berry. It tastes like green apple and berry. I hate that. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I ain't tried it before, Blip. It's my first time trying it. It's the first time. It's my first taste. First taste of the GLOWBERRY. Hold on. It's kind of leveling out, low. It is low key kind of leveling out. It's better than it's better than the initial sip. It does not taste like beer. You don't know what beer tastes like, gang. It does not taste like beer at all. I'll give this one like a 5. This is probably down there with like the grape for me. This is probably like right above grape. I would say GLOWBERRY's right above grape, and grape is my least favorite one. Grape is grape is definitely my least favorite prime flavor. That was all right. Low key, this cherry free is busting on. Hold on. Ooh. In comparison to that GLOWBERRY, bruh, get the cherry freeze.
To me. A viral YouTube sketch titled The Truth Behind Trapaholic's Voice helped certify Mclovin in hip-hop even further. Chris is seen delivering some of the most iconic hip-hop vocal drops of all time.
Real trap shit. Trapaholics. We make it look easy. Walk with your boys.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
The video spread like wildfire, and even sparked a little challenge of people trying to recreate their version of the drops. Now, the Trapaholics vocal drops date way back to the early 2000s, but there were some people who genuinely believed Chris was the voice. Even the Mclovin fake ID became a recognizable piece of history. In 2021, Blake Griffin wore a pair of basketball shoes designed around the ID, and thousands of replica cards still get sold every month on Amazon. Chris was stamped in pop culture as Mclovin. He was a beloved icon, but as you can imagine, this made it very difficult for him to outshine the legacy of that role. Immediately after Superbad, Chris got a ton of visibility from Jimmy Kimmel when he was invited to do a comedic music video sketch that was jam-packed with A-list stars: Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Robin Williams, Brad Pitt, and Mclovin. He quickly secured another nerd role in the comedy film Role Models, alongside Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott.
I did not realize that Role Models was after Superbad. Hold on. I thought Role Models was like 2006, but no, Role Models was like 2000. Was that 2009? It might have been 2009.
Generated nearly $100 million at the box office. Then followed that up with a tertiary role in Year One that just barely broke even in the box office. But his second most successful primary role was in the 2010 film Kick-Ass, which was about a nerdy high school student who decides to be a superhero even though he has no powers, training, or reason to even be a hero. Chris played the superhero Red Mist, and the film was a huge box office hit, earning about
Bruh! They need to make a Kick-Ass 3! They need to! Kick-Ass is in my top 5 movies all time. Kick-Ass 1 and 2, my top 5 movies all time. Top 10. They're my bro. Bro, we need Kick-Ass 3, bruh. We need it, bruh. Do it 10 years later because all them look different now. We don't care. We need the movie, bruh.
$100 million. Throughout the 2010s, he was a go-to tertiary character for comedy films. Pitch Perfect, This Is the End, The To-Do List, Neighbors 1 and Neighbors 2 were all big films. I forgot he was in Neighbors. However, it became clear that Christopher was being typecast in Hollywood, which is essentially when someone plays the same general character in every film. No matter what movie.
The last two movies you just named don't fit this description at all. He was literally a frat boy in this movie.
Seen in. However, it became clear that Christopher was being typecast in Hollywood, which is essentially when someone plays the same general character in every film. No matter what movie, Chris was always the nerd or the skinny weakling who isn't taken very seriously. And although some of the films were successful, none of them came close to eclipsing the domination of Superbad, which made every character he portrayed look like a lesser version of Mclovin. People didn't even refer to Christopher Mintz-Plasse as his real name. They would say,
I just
oh,
learned
that
his
movie
name
has
right
Mclovin
now.
in it.
I've been calling him Mclovin the whole time.
It's like, hey, McLovin. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? My name's Chris. And he's just like, I'm calling you McLovin. I don't care. I'm calling you this. And I'm like, all right.
However, there are some benefits to being typecast. If you are in the right genre, which for Chris is comedy, you can easily get consistent work. Every time there is a goofy or raunchy comedy being made, Chris is seen as a viable option for a character. This has kept him very active, doing a major production every year for well over a decade. Like his most recent movie, Honor Society, is a high school teen comedy, but instead of being the nerdy student, he is the dorky teacher. He was also able to successfully enter the world of voice acting. DreamWorks Studios' animated film How to Train Your Dragon casted Chris as Fishlegs Ingerman, who is the resident dragon nerd and statistics guru. The film grossed $500 million, which was DreamWorks' highest grossing film outside of the Shrek series. Not only did he get multiple years of consistent work due to portraying Fishlegs, the film's success gave him a wide open door of opportunity as a career voice actor. He voiced Alvin in Paranorman, another $100 million success. He voiced King Gristle in DreamWorks' Trolls, a $350 million box office smash. He also earned a lead voice role in Blark & Son, which is a highly rated Comedy Central animated series with a cult fan base. But the other benefit of being typecast is that roles don't require much prep work. He shows up, performs as the character he always does with small changes, and collects a paycheck. This gives him a lot of free time to hone in on other passions, like music. Plasse invested some of his Superbad earnings in a drum kit to play in his band, the Young Rapscallions. However, after 8 years and only one EP, the band came to an end when the bassist decided to quit, but he didn't give up. Chris started a band with his childhood friends called Main Man. The indie alternative band grew up together in California. They found their sound by combining indie/psychedelic rock with surf and turf funk, which is a common sound from the Southern Valley area. Main Man has released 2 EPs titled Mistaker in 2017 and another in the same year titled Social Security Party. The band was never really able to get off the ground, and once the pandemic hit, that was kind of the end of their dream. But Chris's passion for music and performing is far too strong to quit. By mid-2021, he started playing in the band Bankweller and is still touring with them to this day. While some might think Christopher Mintz-Plasse's career is lackluster since he was not really ever able to surpass the legacy of Mclovin, others look at his career as a massive success.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're in a movie every year for 10 years, I mean, shit.
Animated films every year since 2007. And on top of that, touring with a successful band and getting engaged to his longtime girlfriend. He is only in his mid-30s and likely has a long, consistent career ahead of him. He might even be able to outdo his 17-year-old role. But the best part is, he doesn't hate that we all love Mclovin. He is honored.
I guess I haven't been called Mclovin in a year. I kind of miss it now. My ego kind of...
Don't say that.
But now, you know, I take it, I think it's a sense of endearment. Like, it's cool that if I were to walk outside and someone said it, it's cool that they remember it 14 years later.
Once GTA 6 come out and that nigga Trevor, that's how Trevor gonna feel. Watch. When GTA 6 come out, everybody stop talking about that. They start calling all the new characters from GTA 6, calling them by name. They don't call him Trevor no more. He gonna want to be called Trevor again. He gonna be called Trevor again, because if y'all ain't heard that dude, he hates being called Trevor. He hates being called. He won't even respond to people or get mad at people if they call him Trevor. That's what I heard. That's what I heard at least. Once that shit comes out, he gonna wish they still called him Trevor. He gonna wish. What? But that's a W Patrick CC video again. That's another W motherfucking Patrick CC video. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Link in the description. Go check him out.